Tucker Davidson here with Virginia Tech Wrestling coach Kevin Dresser. Tonight we're going to break down the big match against 28th ranked Edinboro. Let's start with the 125 weight class. For Edinboro, they have Corey Mines, who's a second-year starter. And for Virginia Tech, we have Gerard Garnett, who's the returning ACC Wrestler of the Week.
This is an interesting matchup because these two guys actually wrestled. Even though Mines on paper looks like a pretty significant underdog, Tucker, to Gerard, these guys wrestled last year at Midlands, and in an early round, I think the second round of Midlands, and it went to overtime. Garnett won in overtime. Now, granted, Garnett, I like to think that's the old Garnett, the one that was here, and then here, and then here, and then here. So I think we got a guy that I'm hoping that's here all the time. If we got a guy that's here all the time, I think we roll at this match. If we stand around and are complacent and we don't believe in that consistency word, this could be a match. But if it isn't, we could go out and dominate this.
At 133, Edinboro has fourth-ranked wrestler AJ Shop, who was one win away from being All-American last year. And then for Tech, we have Eric Spute, who's wrestling another top 10 opponent.
Well, it's a broken record. We keep saying it, Tucker, that Eric Spute has got the between Eric Spute and David Maroney, I don't know who's drew more ranked guys. He's drew a lot of ranked guys this month, and I'll tell you what, Shop is dangerous, and he is tough. He's really good on top. He tilts. You know, Devin Carter beat him last year, but it was a war. I think this kid went out and won Vegas last year at 133. He just won in the All-Star meet. You know, obviously on paper, Edinboro's a strong favorite there. But Eric Spute's got to go out and just go after guys and quit worrying about rankings and just go out and beat somebody good. And if he keeps doing the little things right, I think he's got a chance to do that. Is it gonna happen with Shop? I don't know, but it's a tough way to start a winning streak. But we got to start it sooner or later here.
And then at 141, Edinboro has fourth-ranked wrestler Mitchell Port, who's also one win away from being an All-American. And then for Tech, we have 10th-ranked wrestler Zach Nyber.
So what did you say? What's Port ranked?
Fourth.
Yeah. See, I didn't even realize that he was ranked that high. I knew he was good. I knew he was in the top 10, but you know, you don't get fourth rank for a reason. This guy was in the round of 12 last year. Really, really funky on the mat, like Nyber. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, Tucker, because he is really, really good in the mat. You know, we actually need to beat him on our feet, and we're good in the mat. So this will be a fun match to watch. You know, I think it's a toss-up, but I'm sure Edinboro thinks they're a favorite here.
And at 149, Edinboro has 14th-ranked wrestler Dave Habit. And then for Virginia Tech, we have Nick Bruschetta, who, like you said, is one of the hottest wrestlers right now in the country.
Yeah, I think Nick Bruschetta is not only the hottest wrestler on our team, but you're right, he might be one of the hottest wrestlers in the country. And again, he's got a ranked guy, and that's how he's got ranked. This is an interesting matchup, too, because these guys wrestled in the first round last year, Tucker, the NCAA championships. Habit was the 6th seed, and Bruschetta was a nobody, and we went out and beat him. I think that we're not going to sneak up on him this time because he knows how good Bruschetta is. Tell you one thing about this guy, he wrestles hard the whole time. Luckily, if our guy's doing what he needs to be doing, he wrestles the whole time, and that's how we beat him at NCAAs. But I can tell you, if we take this guy lightly, we're in trouble because this dude can wrestle.
Then at 157, Edinboro has redshirt freshman Michael Daypalm. He's currently 9-1 on the season. And for Virginia Tech, we have 8th-ranked wrestler Jesse Dong.
Well, you know, on paper, this looks like a mismatch. You got a freshman against a senior. I saw this guy wrestle at 141 last year. DePalma wrestled Nybert in the semifinals of the Penn State Open at 141. It was a war. You know, we got to be favored on paper, but I did like how hard this DePalma kid wrestled. I'll tell you one thing about Edinboro is Edinboro wrestles really, really hard. I mean, those Edinboro guys wrestle really hard. So, you know, if we let these guys be in the match, they're going to be in the match, and 57 is a perfect example. If we go out and take it to them and the same Jesse Dong shows up that's been showing up in the room here, we roll in that match.
At 165, Edinboro has 13th-ranked wrestler Johnny Gresheimer, who redshirted last year. And for Virginia Tech, we have 4th-ranked wrestler Pete Yates, who is currently 1-0 over Gresheimer.
Well, again, a matchup where, you know, I'm impressed with Gresheimer. He's not at Pete Yates' level. He's not as good of a wrestler as Pete Yates right now, but he does wrestle really, really hard. So, you know, he's going to be in there fighting, and, you know, that might be good for Pete. I think guys that come after Pete wrestles a little bit better, and I can tell you Gresheimer is going to come after him. But obviously we're favored on, you know, on paper in that way as well.
174, Edinboro has Patrick Jennings, who's currently 8-4 on the season. For Virginia Tech, we have redshirt freshman Austin Gable.
Jennings, I know nothing about. He's a freshman. He's kind of like Gable. He's unproven. I can't even speculate on that. I got to think we're favored there, but I don't know by how much. You know, a freshman against a freshman, it might be like a middle school match. Who knows? They both might flop around, but I think I got to think we got to win that match.
At 184, Edinboro has Vincent Pickett, who is rated the 18th overall 18th 170 pounder coming out of high school. And for Virginia Tech, we have Nick Federline.
Well, Pickett is, again, just kind of like Jennings, freshman, 6-3. Know nothing about him. I got to think that, you know, our guy beats up their guy there. I hope so, but we'll see. Again, don't know much about him.
At 197, Edinboro has Warren Bosch. And then for Virginia Tech, we have Derek Borley.
I can say this 3 times in a row, right, Tucker? I know nothing about this guy. We got 3 freshmen in a row at 74, 84, and 97. Obviously, that's where Edinboro's vulnerable. But we've been, that's actually, you know, from a matchup standpoint, that's where we've been kind of vulnerable, 74, 84, 97. So they got 3 freshmen right in a row, boom, boom, boom. We need to roll there. We need to get after those guys and show our age and our maturity. So, you know, I got to think that Borley gets it done for us there.
And then heavyweight, Edinboro has national qualifier and 16th ranked wrestler Ernest James. And for Virginia Tech, we have David Moreni. This could be the match to decide the whole team match.
Well, it could be. I sure hope it isn't, Bud, but it could be. You know, I think it's going to be a good match. You got a big kid in Ernest James. You know, he probably weighs 275. I'm guessing he's 6'3", 6'4". Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not missing it by much. He beat Chris Penny last year at Midlands in a real close match, so I know something about this Ernest James guy. He's obviously ranked top 20. You know, we need to go get a win at heavyweight. That's the name of the game at heavyweight.
There are a couple of ranked matches, ranked wrestlers going at it against each other, but what match are you most excited to watch this weekend?
Gosh, you're getting good. Tucker's getting good at questions, right? That's a good question. So, you know, I think the match that I'm most excited, I'm excited to see, because Habit wrestles hard at 49, and I just really like watching Nick Bruschetta right now. I'm excited to see 49. I'm excited to see 41 because I've heard a lot about Port, and I think Nybert's pretty good. So, you know, right now, I'm excited to watch them all, of course, but I'm curious to see how we do with those 2 weight classes.